Welcome, dear friends, to our celebrations this afternoon, the celebration of our head student completion period and the entering period. Um, this completion period is for Kathy Rashke's term as head student, and this particular ceremony acknowledges the attention and the care Kathy has given to all of us in the head student function for the last year. This completion is something that Kathy likened to a retirement last evening. We have a cultural meaning to retirement as an ending of something. I think a different meaning might fit better here, one of putting new tires on a vehicle. The tires here being all that has been given and learned for going forward in the service of all beings and all being. So let's support her as we continue now.
I'll add a bit to what Suzanne was saying as an introduction. First, I want to welcome everyone alongside Suzanne, your resident teacher, and to say that these ceremonies, in their most classical sense, are quite elaborate, and we're doing the best we can on Zoom. But I'm very confident that the complete heart of the ceremony will be transmitted, even if some of the forms have to be adjusted a bit to manage our situation here. I like what you said. This is about the retirement. The problem in this practice path is that it's too late, Kathy. There's no retirement. It's like the time when someone asked Suzuki Roshi what he did with his time off, and his response was, time off? Not in the traditional sense, of course, but they once were seated, the Buddha, and we remained there, and that was your role in the Sangha. So you will be stepping away and someone else will be stepping in, but all that does is help us understand this inevitable flow of people stepping forward and people stepping back, similar to giver and receiver. But it is a great honor to have been asked and to have served so beautifully as you've done, and we'll talk about that more later. And so we thank you for that. And also, I just want to remind you, those of you that if you have your, please have your copy of the Heart Sutra available to you, because we'll be reading that together in just a bit, and all of us will be muted except the person who is leading us at that point. Oh, also, because of the unique nature of this ceremony in this way, I might narrate at times, just a bridge. Ordinarily, all of us would be doing formal bows at a formal altar, which we'll do our version of that right now, and I'm going to return to my seat so we can be seen.
We will now recite the translation of the Heart Sutra by Kaz Tanahashi and Joan Halifax. The Sutra on the Heart of Realizing Wisdom Beyond Wisdom. Avalokiteshvara, who helps all to awaken, moves in the deep course of realizing wisdom beyond wisdom, sees that all 5 streams of body, heart, and mind are without boundary, and frees all from anguish. O Shariputra, who listens to the teachings of the Buddha, form is not separate from boundlessness. Boundlessness is not separate from form. Feelings, perceptions, inclinations, and discernment are also like this. O Shariputra, boundlessness is the nature of all things. It neither arises nor perishes, neither stains nor purifies, neither increases nor decreases. Boundlessness is not limited by form, nor by feelings, perceptions, inclinations, or discernment. It is free of the eyes and ears and nose, the tongue and body and mind, free of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and any object of mind, free of sensory realms, including the realm of the mind. It is free of ignorance and the end of ignorance. Boundlessness is free of old age and death, and free of the end of old age and death. It is free of suffering, arising, cessation, and path, and free of wisdom and attainment. Being free of attainment, those who help all to awaken abide in the realization of wisdom beyond wisdom, and live with an unhindered mind. Without hindrance, the mind has no fear. Free from confusion, those who lead all to liberation embody profound serenity. All those in the past, present, and future who realize wisdom beyond wisdom manifest unsurpassable and thorough awakening. Knowing that realizing wisdom beyond wisdom is no other than this wondrous mantra, luminous, unequaled, and supreme. It relieves all suffering. It is genuine, not illusory. So set forth this mantra of realizing wisdom beyond wisdom. Set forth this mantra that says, Gate Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Swaha.
Joshu's washer bowl. A monk named Joshu in all earnestness. I have entered this monastery I beg you, Master, please give me instructions. Joshua asked, Have you eaten your rice gruel yet? The monk answered, Yes, I have. Joshua said, Then wash your bowls. The monk attained realization. And the verse, just because it is so clear, it takes us longer to realize it. If you quickly acknowledge that the candlelight is fire, you will find the rice has been long cooked.
A poem for the head student. True to Appamada, rooted deeply, spanning widely, reaching upward unbounded, inspiring us, holding the center in these sometimes dark and fearful times, unwavering in diligent, mindful care, radiating, radiating strength, warmth, and tenderness, always returning. Dear abiding spiritual friend, mother, wife, and sister, we bow with heartfelt gratitude. And now, hear the head student.
This is the Dharma staff, 5 feet long. Once it was a black snake on Vulture Peak. Then it became the Udumbara flower. At Shaolin Temple, it burst into the 5 petals of Zen. Sometimes it is a dragon swallowing heaven and earth. Sometimes the Vajra sword, giving and taking life. This staff is now in my hands. Though just a mosquito biting an iron bull, I cannot give it away. Dragons and elephants, let us call forth the Dharma. Give me your questions.
Questioners, at this time, I will invite you one by one to unmute and start your video, starting with Suzanne.
Kathy, we have spent the last 3 days talking about uncertainty and our response to it. You suggested the word wonder as in the spirit, to bring the spirit of wonder to uncertainty. So what I'm asking you is, in the face of challenging uncertainty, what and how do we say something when words are inadequate?
I think we bear witness. We listen, we care, we bring our whole presence forward, and we bear witness. So no one need suffer alone.
Hello, dear friend.
Hello, Kim.
First, I just want to say congratulations, Kathy. My question is about the labyrinth. So you invited us to have tea with you, and you also invited people to come out and walk the labyrinth with you. And it has felt like me. And I wonder what the experience has been for you to walk the labyrinth so many times with so many people. And in particular, what's in the center?
Some people don't know, but the story of the labyrinth is that at a church about 3 blocks from my home, there's a community labyrinth in the front lawn with a big sign inviting people to come. It had been there for a number of years, a couple of years, maybe 2 years. And it's on a busy street, kind of. And so I felt too shy to go. And then 1 year ago, at our spring intensive, I had done a Dharma talk on walking, and I decided as I walked past that I wanted to walk the labyrinth. It's an interesting question, Kim, what happens over time, because I realized the last time I walked it, it's really like practice. At first, I felt kind of confused. You know, I knew what I was supposed to bring. I read the instructions, so to speak, right? But as I did it again and again, I found things dropping away, and I would have an insight, an important insight. And at the center, I think, is pausing and realizing what I had just remembered, really, and then leaving and trying to bring it out to the world. Usually, I think, except for the first time, I was always with someone else. And so then I had the opportunity to bring that to them too, and to talk about it and learn together. Thank you.
Give you a small reminder, but not to Catherine, but to everyone. If you're only when you speak, unmute and leave your mute at other times. That way we don't have any background noise. Thanks.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Catherine.
In preparing for my role as questioner, I sat in meditation and brought up an image of you, Kathy. First, I felt immense gratitude for your steadfastness and willingness to turn toward your role in the midst of the pandemic. I was struck by the yes, yes, and yes that you brought to your role as head student. Then an image of you was joined by an image of a poem we all probably know and cherish. So I decided to not question this meditation dream poem. In fact, this poem turns out to be from a volume called Dream Work, Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clear blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. So this poem brings the question, Kathy, during your tenure as head student, what did you discover to be your place in the family of things?
I think what I discovered was that I was in the heart of the Sangha with everyone else. I was home most of the time, right? But what opened up for me was the heart of the Sangha, and I'm extremely grateful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Kathy.
Bye.
I've been thinking about presence. The last couple of weeks in inquiry, Flint has really encouraged us to be as present as possible. And started out his remarks last night talking about presence and how our practice deepens our presence in the world. And then I was thinking about Flint's father's death and absence. And my question is muddled, like most of my questions are. But presence, like everything else, is impermanent. But what is absence? In death, there's a loss of form, and that seems permanent. But if you're not present in this moment, isn't your absence permanent?
If you're not present in this moment, isn't your absence permanent? I'm tempted to take the easy road and say it's such a good question. It would be a shame to answer it. But I'll add to that. There is no permanent. There is no absence. So I'm someone like Flint who have lost both my parents. And sometimes they're extremely present. Like I know it, I feel it, I sense it. And they have a story or a message for me. And sometimes they're busy doing their thing, and maybe present for someone else. So even if we're not psychically kind of present in the moment, we're present in the universe. And that non-presence is felt. So I would say no, our non-presence is not permanent. It's part of the flow. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
Kathy. Thank you. When I think of your love of words and your choice of the word wonder, what comes to mind immediately, especially after reading the Heart Sutra together, is boundlessness. And so I wonder, how do you feel, sense, or describe boundlessness?
I can tell you what it's not. It doesn't live here. What I feel, and it kind of is an energy, I feel a dropping into something, just dropping into something, and then an incredible expansiveness that it's not dark and it's not light and it's not clear and it's not full. There's a flow to it. And it's very still. At the same time, I guess I feel still in it in a way, like still in the sense of all the relative stuff falls away. And I feel incredibly nourished. Thank you.
Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Bonnie.
The questions are such wonderful heart openers, and I just see your heart so open. Eileen's poem offered me a question, and that is, how have you been unburdened? What I'm thinking, what came into my mind was from the poem that Flint offered about the burdens we carry, and the weight of the love that we carry. I think what comes to my mind is when I began this journey, I asked Flint, what do I do? And he said, see what comes up. And I have always held on. It comes back to me again and again. I don't want to say hold on like grasping, but I guess took some wisdom from the idea of see what's called forth and then see what's called for. And so I think I was unburdened in the sense that I was really free to come forward with what I thought was called for, because it was my role, to take care of the Sangha. And having that permission, to take initiative and to be responsive and to do it in a collaborative way. I am a collaborator. I'm a twin, and My background is in early childhood education. We collaborate. So in a collaborative way, I felt like I was unburdened to see what comes next and how I could be a part of that. Thank you.
Is that the final questioner?
It is.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now we can open questions to the community.
Make a further comment at this point also. Please make your questions brief and direct. In the ceremony, it's not a time for discursive conversation. That doesn't mean you can't add the beautiful things that people have been adding. That's not the point. But ask her a direct question and she'll answer as directly as she can.
Okay.
Kathy, what does it mean to you to wash your bowl?
Well, I'll say more about that in my comments, but a couple things. Just in time. I am the bowl. And freedom.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Becky.
You know, you've been such an important part of deepening my practice this year. And I'm wondering how this experience for you, how you will carry that forward in your practice, what that looks like for you.
I know that one of the things that I've been thinking about is maybe I'll have probably a couple less meetings, not that many, but that's, you know, so maybe a little more time. And I've been thinking, I want to study. That's what I want to do. I want to study. I want to study koans. And so I think, and then there's the alchemy of practice.
Thank you.
Kathy. I am so grateful.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think
there you go. Can you hear me now?
I think Danielle might be speaking at this point.
Okay.
Oh, Danielle, are you going to wait? Danielle, you wait because Maura is highlighted. So Maura, go ahead.
Thank you, Kathy.
Welcome.
When you hear the word metabolize in practice, How do you experience that or understand it?
Oh, metabolize. Well, my thoughts first goes to the biology of all of that. And so it's kind of a metaphor for me of how does the teaching become part of my bones, part of my skin, part of my blood, part of my existence in the universe. And how do I pass it on? How do I bring it forth? Knowing that there's a ripple effect. Thank you. It's a good question. Danielle?
Thank you so much for the offer of joining your Sangha for this event. In seeing you and seeing your community, I see your strength, your commitment, and your wonder to the Dharma. My question to you is, using this new technology of Zooming, will you continue to Zoom when your Sangha is able to be present together again?
That's in process, and it's a very good question because it's brought up some insights. And one of them has to do with belonging and accessibility. And so in terms of belonging, it's been marvelous to have people from the UK, from, I'm thinking of a woman from Houston who's actually in a book study group with us, from Colorado, from Iowa, from North Carolina, from Austin, certainly, from Iowa, from Arkansas. It's wonderful. And then to meet people, like I'm from New Jersey, and I've met people who are from New Jersey too, and I wouldn't have known that. So, but the insight that I want to really kind of highlight is the insight about accessibility. I'm supposed to keep this brief, but in thinking about aging, one of the issues with aging is being socially isolated. And when I heard that, what I thought is, but I have the Sangha. And that means that as people age and might not have mobility and accessibility as we used to, I sure hope that our Sangha will offer Zoom as an option so that people can still be involved. Thank you.
Thank you.
And before you go, will you tell us how to? Oh, she's gone. Tell us how
No,
to. Yeah, please pronounce your name, your Dharma name.
my name is Dai Nay. Dai like Princess Di, and Nay like a horse's whinny.
Thank
Dai. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
My apologies.
No problem.
Hi, Jan.
Thank you for your service to our Sangha this year. I've appreciated the time I've spent with you and your wise words. And I have a question for you as our Sangha is moving our cushion into the community more and more, and with great intentionality, working on being more inclusive and being an anti-racist Sangha. What do your teachings, what do your learnings from your studies this year bring to us as guidance as we move into the new year as a Sangha?
Jan, one of the most important things is something I've been reminded of again and again from you. And that's that for those of us who are white people with privilege, we take up so much room. And so the major thing for me as that kind of person is to step back and again, to see what's called for and see how I can respond to what's being asked of me, as opposed to assuming I have something valuable that somebody would want and laying it out there. That's not, I don't think that's appropriate. So seeing what's asked of me and asked of the Sangha, that's for me and it's for our whole group. And also continuing to learn about the evolution of systemic racism. Learn as much as we can, because that's really where the solution is, and learn about ourselves. Thank you.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Don.
Hi. I so much appreciate you
Thank you.
and all that you've done for the Sangha. I've learned a lot from you over time. My question is very similar to Jan's, actually. She sort of beat me to it. But I'll make it as simple as possible. In your experience, based on your awareness, what is the relationship between Buddha Dharma and racial and social justice?
It's a river. It's all together. It's one. We have to swim in our lives as they're given us. And we have to continue to breathe. And I see the role of anyone who cares about racial justice and social justice. I see us all as accomplices, more than allies, but accomplices to make change. And I guess using the metaphor of the river, we're all swimming together. We're all fish, and we have to recognize opportunities, make sure we don't make things worse, even with good intentions. That's really important to me, and offer what we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no further hands at this time.
So it's my time to my chance to offer a comment on my koan. I had a really hard time picking a koan. I went through a couple, honestly, and so I Googled it, which I thought was fantastic that I could do that, and I found this one. And I mention that because I think this koan is kind of models that, that the monk didn't know what to do, but he was aspiring. And so that grabbed me. And then, that I've been thinking about just in time. And so when Joshu's response was, wash your bowl, I felt it grabbed me. I felt such a great sense of relief. I can get kind of anxious, feeling overburdened, overwhelmed with what should I do next? And, is it going to be good enough? I think that's really what that's an expression of. I remembered that after last night when I said there was something that I was working with on this, will I be good enough? And I didn't remember what it was. And then I realized when I went back to the koan, that's what it was. And so I felt such a release, such a relief, and was just able to rest with washing my bowl. And then as I read about the koan, I didn't realize this, but I learned that I am the bull. And so I had this image of dusting it and trying to see what's, what can I brighten up a little bit that's there? What do I want to keep, And then I had the image of composting some stuff from it. And so Carrie Newcomer always comes to my mind. Let's see if I can remember this line. She says, may I finally see, may I finally hear all the perfect lies that brought me here. All the things I learned just to keep me whole. Can I thank them for what they were and finally let go? And so I love that. That just sings to me. It sings to my heart. Music is important to me. And so I thought of that as kind of, what do I want to, let go of? What do I want to compost in terms of habits and conditions that no longer I recognize? And what I really appreciate about Zen is that it's not based on pathology. I really appreciate that. And Hakomi and Flint's teachings. They're not based on pathology. And that's part of my practice with children too. They do things for a reason. And so to recognize that, to be thankful for that, and to also recognize when it's not useful anymore and figure out what to do instead. That's what we can offer children. What can you do instead? And it's also what we can offer ourselves. So I think that'll be the end of my comments. Thank you for listening. Through the support of the teachers and all of you, I have been the head student. I am deeply grateful for all of your help, but I'm not worthy. Please forgive my mistakes. They fill heaven and earth, leaving no place to hide. Friends, if my actions and words have misled you, please wash out your ears in the pure sound of the present, and please continue your practice. Avowing my limitations, I will continue my practice diligently. Thank you very much.
At this point, an important piece is going to be enacted. Normally, Kathy would be returning the staff to Suzanne or to me, one of the teachers. And we're grateful for Eileen to be there to receive it for us, because it's an important symbolic enactment.
1 second. The staff has been in my hand. I now return it to you. Water returns to the source.
You'll do your 3 bows now, Kathy.
Okay. Thank you.
Kathy,
I am fortunate to be the first to congratulate you. You gave yourself to us, and your continued offering every week. You'd say, I'm here for tea, or come have tea if you'd like. It was really food for our being. You gave, we received and accepted, and we enacted giver, receiver, and gift. With each continued offering and acceptance, though, this shifted to no giver, no receiver, no gift. From what you said last night about letting go of your fear of not enoughness, I personally felt a thrill about that. Because now it can shift to cherishing your enoughness. And all of our enoughness as we practice together compassion's way. You have been such a wonderful example of that. Thank you for your practice, for your example, and congratulations on your new tires.
Thank you, Suzanne, for all your support.
Mhm.
Well, Kathy, I'm so full of gratitude and also wonder that all of this a fullness would pour through you as it's done this year and find its way in such beautiful forms. Do you remember in your koan, as you read it from the Mumonkan, the translation, what was the attitude of the monk who came to Choshu? Very specifically, it says in the first line. In all earnestness.
Yes, and yes, that's right. Yeah, and yes, I said something about, true aspiration, and that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Right. And I just wanted to highlight that before the koan was complete, you showed up in the first line. And not in the the sort of neurotic way we can be earnest, but in the wholeheartedness and the spaciousness that you've shown us. And then I don't know if you remember the because we don't do oryoki, but remember when we eat, we actually wash our bowls.
Right.
And then when we drink the water,
Yes.
there's a little chant. Do you remember anything about it?
That it is like ambrosia.
Yes, that water we use to wash our bowls tastes like ambrosia. We offer it to the many spirits to satisfy them.
Right. I did that one time. I did that meal. How do you say it? Orioko?
Oryoki.
I've done that one time. So go ahead.
So
Thank you.
What you've done to wash this year to taste like ambrosia, as you've offered it to the many spirits to satisfy them. Thank you very much for your offering. And I know that you'll continue because I know that you won't be able to stop.
That's true.
And not, once again, in any driven way, but because of that earnestness and because of knowing that the bowl needs to be washed regularly. And it's just in eating and cooking and cleaning, all the things that go with this. Thank you for your dedication and open-heartedness. We're very, very, very blessed to have you.
Thank you, Flint, and thank you for all your teachings.
And now, dear friends, please come forward with your congratulations.
Once again, just raise your hand.
Is that us? Yay!
You
you.
are a blessing.
Thank you so much. We for those of you who are not from Madison or who couldn't come, we were at Holy Wisdom yesterday for a walking meditation and for a laughing meditation. Don led us in laughing, and Catherine had led us in clapping, and then they merged and they morphed into the same thing, and it was just wonderful. So thank you for that. I hope to do it many more times with many more people.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Kim.
I know I already said congratulations, but I'm going to say it again. And it's funny, I was going to start with yay too. But it's such a joy. It's such a joy. And I just had this realization sitting here. I can feel the weight of my love. I'm so thankful. And I'm so thankful for your time and your dedication. And as someone said earlier, your yes and your yes and your yes again through a whole year, and through one of the hardest years. So I can't imagine this year without you. And I'm so thankful for your dedication.
Thank you.
Can I go?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Chris.
Can I go or Sora?
You're spotlighted.
It has been so rich watching you kind of live into this role. Dropping in, like you just said about boundlessness. And to me, you seem transformed. I don't know if you feel it, but you do. You feel transformed and like you've just settled in. You know, the image I have is the mudra that we use as we sit, and that you fit right in here into warm hand to warm hand. And you're definitely a bodhisattva. Yeah. And I guess the only other, it's been such a gift to us all. Thank you so much. And I guess in Trudy's words, you have given your fragrance to all of us. And that has just been
very sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
This is Zore.
Yeah, hi, Zora. My gallery view is covering some people's faces, so forgive me.
Okay. No, I'm not in the right light. I just wanted to congratulate you also.
Thank you.
And as you were talking, I just remember the first time I met you long time ago. And to me, you have grown spiritually a lot. And I really respect your commitment to that. And that is good for me because I'm learning from you to make some more commitment. And I didn't have a lot of opportunity to be with you guys this last year. And of course, my excuse is COVID. Okay, that's good enough. And I don't know, I hope that I will see you guys more often from now on. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I see a road trip in our future. Steve. You have to unmute.
Unmute myself. There we go.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I second the Bodhisattva aspiration there. You've really always been there for me since the first time I came up. Gosh, it's been a long time, 6, 7 years ago. And all of you have been there for me. Kathy, I love you, and your concern for me personally comes through. And it's just thrilling to have gotten into this group before you were a Zen community. You learned and studied, and now these forms, you know, it's taken a Buddhist teachings into the new world. I mean, here we are, 2021. So that's just a phenomenal thing. And as more people go through the head student role and the years go on, there's just going to be this magnificent light in Madison. And it begins with all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I love that image. Thank you.
Kathy, this is the other Kathy.
Oh, hi, Kathy. I don't see you, but I hear you.
I just want to congratulate you and to thank you throughout all my time in Open Door. When I attended the very first retreat, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, you came up to me. You were the first person, and I tend to hang back, and I really appreciated it. And you invited me into the Friday book group, and it's been wonderful to watch you grow into your own being with the Dharma, but it's been inspiring for me. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is such a treat. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Kathy. I wanted to offer my deep and heartfelt congratulations. One thing that I remember from back when we used to be together in person, and I feel like has just deepened through your role as head student, is your capacity to listen to these various facets of life. You offer so much by listening through your experiences to other people from the content that you consume. And there's a real grace and a real creativity and a sense of wonder through how you bring teachings to life. But you do it also with your welcome, with your welcome that you opened up for us during your teaching the other day. So thank you. And the last image that I thought of as you were today with the staff is there's the Dakini, and she is speaking.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I printed that poem off last night because I want to practice with it. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Efrat.
Hi, what a great follow-up for Laura, because I wanted to name your fierceness. We have been companions on the road of deepening practice, and together with Erin, supporting Suzanne's role by coming through and working through how we might offer this teaching and this training, and the collaboration that ensued was just so incredibly forceful in that you were able to stand up and say things in a way that was clear and strong. And as a result, and we two were like sandpaper, it was a wonderful experience of growth through standing for, not in a stubborn way, but in a clear way. And as a result, really, I see how the path was beautifully hewn. And I will always hold your strength as a place for me to be strong to, and your softness, and your cleaning up when we went too far into idea land and you brought us back and said details. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and lots of love.
Thank you. You too. Hi, Chris. There you go.
Congratulations. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You've given so much to the Sangha this year. And really, as other people have said, in extraordinary circumstances. And you've adapted beautifully. And I remember most the times that we had tea and walked the labyrinth, and that was such a powerful experience. It really opened up space, walking in silence with you, and your earnestness and your listening and your welcome helped me deepen my role in the Sangha and become more involved. And I just so appreciate that welcome and encouragement and your way of just being so straightforward and so authentic. I cherish that. Thank you, Kathy.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hello, Kathy. Brief but very sincere congratulations and gratitude. As someone who kind of entered Open Door last spring at the same time that you entered your role as head student, I just want to say how much you have personified for me the open in Open Door. And other people have said it before, but your welcoming and your just my connection with you has been extremely important to deepening my practice. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, Ruth.
Kathy, I just want to congratulate you and just say I met you a year ago in the intensive, and Flint connected us with singing, and I feel like I got a new friend. I got a East Coast buddy, and I got to watch you with your wonder and doubt and your honesty and your incredible vulnerability. I mean, I feel like I've seen you throughout share your own personal vulnerability, which opened me to do that. And I actually got to tell you, I could never believe that we'd make a date and you would actually want to see me, because I would think, oh my God, you're so busy. And then we'd have such a good time. And so I just love you. I love you. And I'm so proud of you. And I look forward to seeing you and touching you. And you opened up Open Door Zen for me. I'm now in practice. I know so many people at Open Door. I have all these beloved spiritual friends, and I thank you. And I thank Flint for letting me in, and I thank Suzanne for always remembering my singing, and thank you. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. Hi, Jan.
Hi, congratulations. What a year. From one Jersey gal to another. You and I have always had that bond, I think, from the very beginning. And there's something that is elegantly non-apologetic about the strength and passionate love that you bring to the Sangha that resonates with me and for me. And I see you doing that, and I love that about you. And I so look forward to us gathering again with contemplative photography in gardens and other places, and opening the group actually too to that, because that's such an important practice that we haven't even talked about much in Sangha. So thank you, Kathy. I so admire you and respect you. Thank you.
Mutual. Sue, my neighbor. Sue's my neighbor.
Did I unmute?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my dear friend and neighbor and book club member and on and on and on. It's just been a real pleasure to watch you this year, because you had a lot of doubts in the beginning. And as you went along, you know, you were just kind of like this flower that opened, this blossom that just kept opening, and accepting the rain, whatever the sunlight, whatever came, and going with it. And everything that when you talk comes back to your experiences that you use so well explaining things, and your love of children and your love of people in general. So it's just been wonderful to have you as the head student. And I say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Becky.
I'm back. Hi again, Kathy. I know I said a little bit before, but I just wanted to say congratulations. And also, I remember the first tea we had, I unexpectedly broke into tears, and you were able to witness that for me and see that as me being, my calling was happening, and just being able to hold that with me and validate that is just something that I will carry with me always, and feel so grateful for that. And just what a delight to hear how many people you've touched this year. And I mean, before this year as well, but just this is great to hear just that you've been a power in my life, but so many people's too. So thank you.
So much. It was Flint who taught me that those tears mean that there's something that's profound that's happening. So I passed that. That's transmission, right, Flint? I transmitted that from him to you. I don't see any hands. I guess I would just like to say that I do love people. And so why wouldn't we have an open door? You know, please come, bring your friends. It's just joyous. And as we're getting to the end of this intensive, and I just want to share a realization that I had yesterday as we were hugging each other because we're vaccinated. And as I was driving home, I was thinking, wow, that was really different. When I first went to retreats, and then there's that hugging ritual at the end, I remember thinking, who do I want to hug? Who would want to be hugged by me? And having such conflict, you know, and psychological conflict about that. And that's all gone, you know, that's all gone. I wanted to hug everyone there, and I want to hug all of you now. And maybe someday we'll be able to do that. But I thank you so much. Thank you.
Now you know, Kathy, how huggable you are.
Thank you.
Yes. So as we come to the close here, I'll be offering the merit of our practice.
Suzanne,
I want to name one thing.
Go ahead, Flint.
What we don't get to do, which is really joyful, at the end of the ceremony, is do these full bows together and do them next to each other. I just wanted to say how profound that is for me, usually, to do them with each other. And so I look forward to that. But we will, Suzanne will lead us in the offering of the merit and the Bodhisattva vows now.
We offer the merit of this ceremony for the welfare of all beings everywhere. May all be relieved of suffering, free from fear and longing, aversion and ignorance. May we together with all beings realize the awakened way.
It's going to do it.
The Bodhisattva vow. Beings are numberless, I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible, I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless, I vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable, I vow to embody it. Beings are numberless, we vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible, we vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless, we vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable, we vow to embody it. Beings are numberless, this vow frees them all. Delusions are inexhaustible, this vow ends them all. Dharma gates are boundless, this vow enters them all. Buddha's way is unsurpassable, this vow embodies it.
Okay. Thank you for being so flexible and for supporting this ceremony today. The head student entry ceremony will follow, and we will pause for a few minutes, but you may remain online.
With my incense offering.
This is the opening of the 2021 spring practice period here at Open Door Zen Community. Through the deep consideration of our teachers and this Sangha, we offer you, Eileen Kelmfer, the responsibility of head student for this practice period.
You are our choice to be head student. Please lead us and accept this responsibility. We will give you our full support.
This responsibility is too great for me. I have received the precepts and I'm very grateful for your teaching, but I am not ready to be head student.
Eileen, pause, please. Please wait, come back. I have received
the precepts and I am deeply grateful for your teaching, but I am not ready to be head student.
Please come back. Please reconsider. I know that what you're enacting right now is also the truth of the matter, and that you can feel it in your bones, as we all have who've stood in that position. And what I'm most impressed with, not is that it's repetitive, but that you return and return and return over and over so consistently. That's why the former head student would have faith in you to invite you to be head student, why your resident teacher would have confidence in you and announce that you would be the head student. And you're avowing your doubts alongside your willingness, and not use it as a barrier is a great treasure. So thank you very much.
I have received the precepts. And
These are beautiful days.
Oh, that was 3 times. These are beautiful days. May your good health continue. Please let me help you take care of our practice.
Please help us. This student shares our seats and our responsibilities. Please give her your wholehearted support.
And now what would come next if we were in person is quite joyful. The person who is assisting Eileen would do a gassho bow, a half standing bow, and Eileen would be behind that person, and she would do the same, and they would walk all the way around the zendo. And as they did, each person would bow to them as they went by. So it would be like a wave, just like in the stadium, you know. It's kind of a fun, beautiful, beautiful kind of bowing to everyone at once, and also enacts the humility of what it means to be head student. So would everyone please bow now to her as if she was walking in front of you, and just hold the bow. There you go, Eileen. Allow yourself to feel that rhythm together with Kathy there. And that final announcement, Suzanne?
The head student for this practice period is Eileen Kelfer.
it's a great, joyful day as you enter as head student, and look forward to the next period of time in which you'll do that. I want to let Suzanne have the last word. I want to just simply say my heart is full, and I'm grateful to see all of these wonderful faces. The entire retreat, including these ceremonies, has been quite beautiful, and I'm grateful that you allowed me and invited me back to continue to offer what I can to all of you. What's flowered here is beyond words. It's quite remarkable. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person and giving you a hug in October, if that works out. Thank you for today, and thank you for all of your practice. Wonderful. And Suzanne, any closing comments?
Yes, I'll close with just saying that when I had the conversation with Eileen about being head student, as a newbie teacher, this is my first time of attending these ceremonies as a teacher. And in discussing this with Eileen, I was so clear about her readiness to be head student, and that you very much want Eileen to be here in this function, not for yourself, but for service. And that I just feel the warmth in my heart and the warmth in yours as we go forward. So thank you very much for accepting this role, this task. I just want to say an aside, when I was the first head student, I didn't know what this was all about. And I read about it, and I read that in monasteries, to really enact the humility of this, that the head student cleans the bathrooms. So that retreat, I assigned myself the Dharma work of cleaning all the bathrooms or attending to them at Holy Wisdom. So if Kathy asks you to clean her bathrooms, you just
And take out the garbage.
And take out the garbage. That's right. That's right. So thank you everyone for attending our retreat, about each of you. And we will be together. I'm not going to say, if, I'm going to say we will be physically together at Holy Wisdom in October with Flint here. And we look forward to you all being here, and we'll figure out something to do with technology so that we can continue our expanded Sangha and our expanded community.
We'll probably continue in some hybrid form.
Some hybrid form. We're on it already. We're on it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.